Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, and today's topic is all about frequency and why it matters. Let's get to know what I mean when I talk about frequency and vibration. Maybe you're like, what are you talking about? Is it music? Is it, a radio station? I don't know. Let's find out. So I am here to motivate and inspire you to create a daily routine that helps you, number one, calibrate and elevate your energy. We're going to be talking a lot about that today. Number two, connect with your inner guidance. And number three, navigate your challenges with ease and grace. And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of challenges these days. Everybody I've spoken to is really struggling with something or another. So this Me First Morning method, I'm hoping will help you. So let me know if anything that I talk about here on the show is helpful. And if you do think it's helpful, please remember to watch and subscribe. I'm on every morning, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Go to YouTube at Me First Mornings and go ahead and ding that subscribe button. Well, smash that subscribe button and ding that notification bell so that you know when I'm showing up. And also, I do have a free gift for anyone who wants to go into the description and go ahead and download that free gift. It is a Me First quick reference guide, and it includes things like how to calibrate your energy, the Me First morning routine, a quick GPS activity so you can find your GPS quickly, because I do talk about that a lot, your daily ABCs, which this season I have not really talked about too much yet, but it's an important and essential part of your day. And the last thing, a simple guide to manage stress. So if you're looking for that right now, go to bit.ly/Me First Mornings. Nice and easy to remember. All you got to do is type in Me First Mornings, whether it's on YouTube or bit.ly or Facebook, and you will find me. All right. So let's get started. Good morning, Mom. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. All right. So, I want you to watch today's show. I invite you to watch today's show and reach out to people who feel this way, right? So do you ever feel this way? Like, number one, like no one ever listens to you, right? Like you're just like, you feel like you give people advice, you talk to people and they just don't listen or they don't take your advice and you're like, why do I bother talking? So that's number one. If you ever feel like your thoughts and opinions are not relevant to anyone, and I don't know, as a mom, that's a daily occurrence, I think, for me, is I'm talking to my children and, sometimes I'm like, maybe what I'm saying is not relevant, or they're like, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. You're old, or whatever comments they make, and it makes us feel like maybe the things I'm saying don't make sense, or they don't apply, or they're not relevant anymore. Maybe you're feeling old, or like, out of place, or like you don't belong, whether it's at work or at home or wherever you're hanging out. If you feel that way, watch this show. And also, if you have a voice in your head that tells you you're not special enough, you're not smart enough, you're not attractive enough, or whatever not enough thing you have that applies to you, that you are not enough for anyone to pay attention to what you say, for your thoughts, ideas, and opinions to be validated by anyone because you think, I just don't have that much to offer. I want you to watch this show, all right? And we're going to talk about that today because it's super important, because we're talking about frequency. Now, why do I talk about frequency all the time? Because it's important, because we are energetic beings, right? We're made of energy. Like every single thing on the planet, everything, okay, is made of matter. And this matter is made of tiny little atoms that have a frequency that move, right? Everything is vibrating. Everything has its own frequency. Everything has its own vibration. It's the rate of vibration, how it shows up in the world, right? So things that are very dense have a low vibration, right? And things that are very not dense, that have very fast, high frequency that vibrate very fast, very high frequency. That has its own vibration too. Colors have their own vibration. Food has its own vibration. Everything has its own frequency that it connects with. And you don't have to know everything's frequency. You really don't. You can, but you do take sort of advantage of the frequency of certain things, especially if it's things like food that you eat, then you sort of like, have that frequency. But I'm not going to get too scientific or complicated for you. I'm just letting you know that it's important to know sort of your frequency, or it's important to pay attention to your energetic field, because it does affect everything in your life, right? It affects what you have access to, because wherever you are vibrating is equal to the things that you have access to in the world, right? It's very much, and I like to use this analogy a lot, it's like a radio station or a TV station, right? But let's say radio, because that's, kind of easy, right? Where if you tune in the station, right, and you go to listen to 99.9, it was a station I used to listen to, or 102.1, I used to listen to CFNY, right? If you go to 102.1, you kind of know what to expect, right? At that time when I was listening to it, I don't know what's going on in Toronto now, it's CFNY, but it used to be like alternative music, right? And so I'd hear, all sorts of things, Our Lady Peace, whatever kind of music was there, it was grunge, Nirvana would play, whatever, right? And that would be what I would expect on that frequency. That frequency was always broadcasting what I expected it to broadcast, which was alternative music. Now, if I switch to another station, if I switch to 99.9 or 98.1, which was CHFI in Toronto, and it's like adult contemporary, they're not going to play the same stuff. It's a different frequency. I'm going to be exposed to different things. So if you think about that for yourself, you are transmitting a frequency. You are always transmitting your frequency. And so it's up to you, and that's why I talk about this on this show. It's up to you to tune your frequency and broadcast what you want to broadcast, so that when anybody comes into your orbit, or whenever anybody tunes to your frequency, they hear what you want to put out. And that's why we do these exercises in the morning, to get you centered, to get you grounded, to get you tuned into your own frequency, so that you can be clear. You're not playing someone else's music, or someone else's news program, or someone else's talk radio, or someone else's ideas, right? You don't want to broadcast that, unless, of course, you believe in those things and you want to amplify someone else's message. Then of course you broadcast it through you, right? But what you want to do is you want to have a clear channel that it's like whenever anybody comes to you, they're like, oh yes, that is what she's into, and that's how we connect, and that's how we resonate, because that way it's always clear who you are and what you talk about and what's important to you. If you are broadcasting what's important to you, then everybody knows what's important to you. If you stay quiet and don't broadcast anything at all, or if you're only broadcasting what you hear from other people, whether it's information or whatever, or somebody else's mood, right? If you're picking up people's energy and you're broadcasting it yourself, someone pisses you off and suddenly you get angry. You want to make sure that you are broadcasting exactly what you want. We're going to talk about that a little bit more, but let's do our Me First Morning ritual, because that's how we set our day right. We set our day so that we are grounded and connected to our own personal energy first. Good morning, Eleanor. Good morning. I hope you got my birthday message yesterday. Happy belated. Hola, Clara. Bon dia. All right, so let's light this candle. This is how we're going to start. Oh my God, I have to get like a better... How is this blowtorch not working? Okay, there we go. We got it. Okay, so we have a candle. I just want to share with you the beautiful flowers that I got from Sam. I don't know if you guys remember Sam Cook. She sent me these beautiful flowers to match my beautiful set. Doesn't it match beautifully? I love it. It's like purple and pink. It looks like my back. So I just wanted to share that with you. I got that for my birthday. Very exciting. I got other flowers too. Actually, I should probably show. I got flowers from Linda. I got flowers from Sam. I got flowers from some friends that came to the Moon Circle. I don't need my glasses right now. Anyway, it was nice. So thank you. All right, here we go. I lit the candle. We're going to use some essential oils. See, this is why I need to do this, because I get easily distracted. And so I have to get myself grounded because I tend to be like all over the place in the mornings. Okay, so you put a little essential oils wherever you like. I like to put it on my, certain pressure points. You guys know I like to put them here so I can smell them on my head because it usually hurts to cleanse it or clear it or, sort of fill it with calm energy. All right. So now we're going to take 3 deep breaths, and I want you to just have your feet well planted on the ground. And I want you to just imagine that the top of your head is opening up and you are allowing that beautiful, healing, warm sunlight to just pour into your head like liquid sunshine and fill your body with light, with healing, beautiful, powerful, shining light. And when it goes into your body, I want you to imagine that any energy that is stuck, stagnant, or dense just dissipates. I want you to just see it dissolving and dissipating. And when you breathe out, I want you to exhale that breath and imagine that you are releasing anything that doesn't serve you. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, and we're going to do that together right now. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in and hold for 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Beautiful. Another deep breath in and hold. And once again, imagine that all of that light in your body fills your body with light, dissolving anything that doesn't serve you. And with the exhale, release it. Beautiful. One more time, deep breath in and hold and release. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to shake that out. Oh, wait, we're not shaking out first. We're stretching. It doesn't really matter, but I like to stretch first because the stretching does the same thing as the breathing. What you want to do is you want to release any stuck, stagnant, or sort of tension in your body. You want tense energy, stiffness, right? We feel it energetically, but then our body also feels it. So anything that we're feeling in our body that may feel tense, that may feel tight, that may feel uncomfortable, or if you're in pain. Remember, I haven't done this show yet, but we need to talk about it. Pain is pay attention inside now. That is the acronym that came to me. Pay attention inside now. If you have any pain, it's your body saying, hey, you got to pay attention, because if you're feeling it physically, it means it's already gone through the energetic body. It's already gone through sort of like your outer layer of protection, where it's where you take care of things, is in your energetic field before it manifests physically. So if you're feeling pain physically, it means that you really need to take care of that, because that's it. The physical is the last manifestation of this energy. So we need to release it and get rid of it. And then, of course, continue to clear and cleanse our energy around us, okay? So we are stretching, and then we are shaking it out, because that's how we get rid of the energy. Now, you don't just have to shake. You can just move, you can dance, okay? The movement is the key, right? Because you want to literally shake off that energy. It's why animals shake, when they go from one spot to another. They shake to release that energy to go into the next step, the next phase of their day. All right. So now that we've done that, let's set our intentions. Think of your GPS word, if you have one. If you don't have your GPS word, a quick way to get there is just imagine that you are in your happy place. Just imagine that you are in, like, if somebody says to you, I'm taking you to your favorite place right now. What is that favorite place? How does it make you feel? That's the word we want. How does it make you feel? It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel connected. It makes me feel abundant. It makes me feel free. It makes me feel alive, right? That's the word you want to embody in your intention. So, we're going to say a little prayer, which is something that I myself have written, but you can use your own prayer. You can, taken from your own religious or spiritual practices. It can be a prayer you've said since you were a kid. It can be a bunch of gobbledygook you just make up, it doesn't matter. What matters is the intention. It is your connection with spirit, your connection with your higher self is what matters. And at this point, we call in, we set our intentions, and we call in for support from our spiritual team to say, hey, I'm looking to feel alive today, and I want to feel alive in a fun and easy way. I would love your support with this. And then you say your little prayer, okay? And you can set whatever intention you want. I'm just saying I want to feel alive today because I said alive. You know, I want to feel peaceful is the big one that I say all the time. Just please let this day go by and let me feel peace. Please let this day go by and let me feel ease and fun. Let me enjoy my day. Let me relish in my day. Let me have a fulfilling day. Whatever it is that, however you complete that sentence, however you want your day to go, that is your GPS word. So let's set the intention and call in for support. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. All right. Now, the next thing that we do, of course, is pull a card for the day, but we're going to talk about, before I pull a card, we're going to talk about this frequency thing and why it's important. Now, I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share a story with you. And I was talking to someone the other day, and it's like a habit. And what happened in our conversation, we were talking about TikTok, okay? Now, if you're watching my show, you're probably somewhere around my age, okay? So we're probably like, give or take 10 years, you're like in there somewhere. I mean, I don't know, my mom, not so much, but it runs the gamut. But let's just say that you at least were born, like in the 80s, 90s, if you're watching me. I don't know, maybe not. See, I'm making assumptions here. I may have very young people watching me and thinking I'm awesome. I don't know. Let me know if you're younger than what I assume. Then please let me know that you're younger and watching and you think I have something to offer you. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This was the conversation that I've had with like two separate people in the last couple of weeks. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about Reels. Now listen, it is way like. The funny thing is if you knew me when I was younger, the fact that I'm going to say this is hilarious, but it's like way too much for me. It's just way too involved for me, adding titles and this and that. And so I do have my TikTok, and you can see like all my social media I have here in the description. And I'm on TikTok at Calibrate Your Energy. But I don't put a lot of stuff on TikTok because it takes a lot of energy for me to kind of like do it, right? But that wasn't the discussion that I was having with these people that I had. The discussion was, there's nothing there for us. What am I going to talk about? Nobody wants to see me. And this was in reference to, and like I said, this was more than one conversation. Nobody wants to see a middle-aged woman. No one wants to see a middle-aged man. No one wants to see me go there and talk about how, like I get through the tough times in my life. Nobody wants to hear, my advice about this. Nobody wants to hear my stories about this. Okay, and here's what I'm going to tell you. That is bullshit. And I'm saying this with all the love in my heart, is that's just a story you're telling yourself, right? I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care about your color, your status, your sexual orientation, whether you are, what your gender is, binary, non-binary. I don't care. Your voice is important. Your presence is important. Your message is important. And if you have any inclination to show up on social media, if you have a thought and it's like, I really want to share this, or you get inspired, right? Like something happens and you're like, I want to go share this on TikTok, or I want to go share this on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you use. And you stop yourself because you're like, who's going to give a crap about what I have to say? That's what I want to put an end to right now, okay? I want to put an end to that idea that what you have to say doesn't matter. And the reason I'm saying this is this, okay? Because we have this image of what TikTok is, and especially as parents, if you have children, you see TikTok and it's dances and it's this and it's a lot of garbage, right? But even that garbage, I don't want to judge it. It seems like garbage to me, but my kids love it and they're into it and it brings them joy. And as long as it's not a terrible message, go for it, right? I'm all for people's expression no matter where it falls, right? But at the same time, I need to remind you that what you say matters. And what you have to say matters because everybody's scrolling on TikTok. It's not just young kids. It's not just the generation that seems to be really into TikTok. It's all ages. It's all generations have. And I'm using TikTok as an example because it just happens to be like this permeating, media and culture that's kind of taken over, right? It's like sort of this TikTok culture, these bite-sized things, these whatever, right? But you have to show up there because your voice is needed. Because no matter what you think belongs or doesn't belong or what TikTok is about or isn't about, if you're not there as an option, then you and what you have to say doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It means it's not there. It means your voice isn't there. So other people who are, middle-aged, who have these, sort of things going on in their life that they want to talk about, it means they don't have anyone to relate to either, right? If you have something to say, I promise you, there's someone watching, there's someone listening that goes, oh my God, you too? You too? That's amazing, right? One of the things that I discovered in my time as a mom, and especially if you're a woman, there is all sorts of shit they don't tell you about motherhood. There is all sorts of shit they don't tell you about your body and how it functions. There's all sorts of shit they don't tell you about menopause, right? And they don't talk about it because they're like, oh, we don't talk about those things, or oh no, we don't, because we don't want to be embarrassed talking about those things, because we don't want to be the people talking about those things. It is time to talk about those things, people. It is time to talk about whatever is going on in your life. And I'm going to say it again because I promise you that whatever you are going through in your life, whatever you feel compelled to share in public, someone else needs to hear it. Because if someone else didn't need to hear it, you wouldn't be compelled to share it. You would just be like, oh, that's an interesting thought to keep to myself, right? You'd be like, oh, I'm glad to know that. But sometimes you say to yourself, God, I wish somebody would have told me this. And that's when you get on social media and say, you know what? When I was young, I wish somebody had told me this. Nobody told me. And now my mom's watching. My mom's watching the show, and I just want to put a disclaimer here that my mom told me everything I needed to know and everything I asked. Now, there was certain things I didn't ask and probably certain things she didn't want to tell me, but she was always open and honest with me. So I just want to share that because she is watching, and I just want to say thank you. Wrong, you're not middle-aged. Yes, Mom, I am middle-aged. I'm almost 50. That counts as middle-age. I don't know. Are you trying to say I'm younger than middle-age? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm here. Who knows whether I'm middle-aged or not, because middle-aged technically is like the middle of your life. And I don't know. This could be the middle of my life. Could be later. Could be earlier. I don't know. Anyway, that being said, I want to impress upon you the importance of your voice, the importance of talking about the things that you're going through, the importance of showing up and talking about the things that you are compelled to talk about. Now, I'm not trying to say, like, if you're sitting at home and you have no desire to go on social media, I'm not saying you have to go out there and talk, about whatever. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to show up on social media. I'm talking to the people who have those downloads or have those ideas or get those inspirations or motivation, or like, I'm going to go put something on TikTok. And then you stop yourself because you're like, I'm really going to put this on TikTok. Like, who cares what I have to say? People care. There is someone out there that needs that message. There is someone out there that is feeling the same way as you and feels lost and alone. And your voice is going to give them an anchor to hold on to and be like, oh my God, I'm not the only one, right? And here's where frequency matters. Here's where vibration matters, right? Is that what you are broadcasting, that frequency, it is going to connect with other people on that same frequency. You're not going to have the exact same life. It's not going to be the exact same thing, but there is a frequency that connects you and everybody else going through similar things as you. There is a frequency of motherhood. There is a frequency to being a boy mom of 3 boys. Okay, that's a frequency. There's a connection there. Other boy moms, immediately, there's no discussion needed. You're like, you got 3 boys? Oh, me too. Oh, yeah. And there's that knowing look, right? Special needs parents, right? There's that knowing look like, oh, you know how tough I got it. Yeah, I know how tough you got it. You know how tough I got it. Yep, you do. It's a frequency. It is a connection. It is how we connect as people. And so it's important that you show up in your fullness, that you show up being who you are in all your authenticity with all the things that you care about. Today, I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a caregiver, for someone who is dealing with a terrible illness. Okay. And then the next day I might talk about, what it's like to be a mom of 3 boys. And then the next day I might talk about, hey, what it's like to be an aging TV star, whatever you want to talk about or whatever I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the things that make sense to me, that are in my frequency, that are important to me, because other people are listening, and those things, maybe not everything connects to them, but something connects to them, because there's other people like me who also used to work in television and are now aging, and that's something very present for them, right? There's also other people out there who have 3 boys and they're trying to raise 3 boys, consciously, mindfully, in a world where, things are kind of crazy, right? And you want to make sure that you are raising conscious, kind men, okay? That is a certain conversation. That's a certain frequency. Now, if you have 3 girls, or if you are in a different situation, or you have children who are non-binary, you're going to want to hear someone else who has a child who's non-binary and be like, this is what it's like to have a non-binary child. And you're going to be like, oh my God, they get me. They understand, right? You have to go out and tell people what you're going through. You have to express yourself. You have to be present, because there's other people there that are just hoping that someone understands them. They're just hoping to get some guidance from someone. And they're afraid to talk to the people that they know. They're afraid to talk to their friends because they're ashamed of whatever they're going through, or none of their friends talk about these same things. And so they just keep it to themselves, because we've been taught that any struggle is a sign of weakness. We've been taught that seeking out help means that we're codependent. No, it doesn't. We are not codependent. We are interdependent. Humans are interdependent. The entire ecosystem is interdependent, because we cannot live without the plants and the flowers and the bees and all that crap. And they might be able to live without us, but let's just say that it is not codependency. That's a whole other thing. And there is a very important sort of classification there of what codependency is. But we as humans, we need each other. We are interdependent. And we need to know that we are not alone. We need to feel part of a community. We need to feel part of something. We need to feel like we belong. And so that's why it's important, especially in this increasingly connected yet disconnected world that we live in. We need to make sure that people know, hey, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm going through the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with you, and everything's going to be okay, right? And even like, hey, if you need support, come reach out. That's the thing that I want to help people with the most. You are not broken. And if you think you're broken and you need some support or someone to hold your hand while you sort of mend the pieces of your life, well, then reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to a therapist, reach out to someone you trust, reach out to your best friend. Start opening up and just being who you are without fear of judgment. The people who love you and care for you will always love you and care for you no matter what. And the people who don't, it doesn't matter if you're the most perfect, most beautiful person on the planet. Some people are just not going to like you. Some people are just not going to resonate with you. I mean, look at famous people are a perfect example. There's some people that are gorgeous, super talented. Those people still get left by their husbands. Those people still don't get jobs sometimes. Those people still get addicted to all sorts of substances. Those people still feel lonely. Those people still feel lost, right? And it doesn't matter how beautiful, how rich, how amazing, how famous, how many things they have. It doesn't matter. They are experiencing the same things as us in different ways. It's a different frequency, right? So it's like, yes, experiencing pain when you're rich as shit is a little bit different than experiencing pain when you're broke and you have less possibilities. It's different, but the pain for the individual is still pain. It's still painful to go through. Okay. So I hope in some way I've inspired you to be open, to be honest, to be you, and don't worry about what anybody has to say or what anybody's thinking or whether or not anybody cares. The people who care are going to care deeply, and they're going to be so grateful that you were courageous enough to show up and talk about the things that are important to you. And the people that don't, they're just not going to be in your frequency. They're just not going to be in your range. And if those people start being mean to you, like if you go through, whatever, and people start being mean to you, they're being mean to you because there's something you're saying that is resonating with them, but they're not ready to face it. They're not ready to look at themselves and see how what you're saying or what you're talking about actually is potentially healing for them. Because if they didn't care, they would just be out of their frequency. So if anybody is like on you or insulting you or criticizing you, just laugh on the inside and know that they're struggling, and that's why they're lashing out at you, because they're struggling with the things that you're saying, because what you're speaking is truth and it is reaching them on a visceral level, and they're not prepared to deal with it. So they're going to start yelling, they're going to start screaming, they're going to start saying all sorts of crap about you. And all you need to do is be like, I know. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Thanks. That's it. That's it. If you want more specific advice about what to say specifically, feel free to call me. Okay. Olivia. Hi, Debbie. Oh my goodness, Debbie. Let me tell you, that's right. This message is for you. I feel it. Okay, so what do the cards have to say? I know I'm running late and I have to go because I have to go to work. I'm going to drink my coffee. Oh, have you guys seen my beautiful coffee mug? This is another Eggs McManus design. Skate Cloud. He makes me so happy. Well, my husband makes me happy, but also his designs make me happy. All right, let's pull a card and see what the energy has to say about all of this, right? So to sum up, what you are broadcasting is important because you are the channel that amplifies the things that are important to you, right? And if you're not talking about it and if you're not amplifying it, then it means that your viewpoint, your perspective is not being shared. It means it's not out there. So if you look at something differently, if you have a different perspective, if you have a different experience and you're not talking about it, that means nobody is getting your information. That means nobody is getting the benefit of your experience. So you have to broadcast it. And it doesn't matter. You're broadcasting because that's who you are. But it's not about, like I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. No, you just, when you talk to people, you share what's important to you. When you show up at parties, you share what's important to you. When you go online, you share what's important to you. Continue broadcasting what you want to see out in the world. Oh, the world is terrible, awful, everybody sucks. Okay. What do you want to see in the world? I want to see kindness. I want to see people treating each other better. Great. Start broadcasting that. Start being kinder. Start, treating people better. You are the living embodiment of what you want to share. So if you don't like what is happening, if you don't like how things are coming in your life, then you have to think about, what am I broadcasting? How am I showing up? What am I sharing? What life am I living? Because your station, you have to curate it. You curate the music, you curate the commercials, you curate everything. So anything that comes out of your mouth, anything that comes through your channel is your responsibility. Yeah, you're going to hear all sorts of stuff from other people. You're going to get all sorts of opinions. You're going to get all sorts of judgments, and that's okay, right? Just like people disagree on music. Oh my God, I love Taylor Swift. She's amazing. I just spent 14,000 hours trying to get tickets to her concert. And then someone else is like, blah, Taylor Swift. Who cares? Some people like her, some people don't. It doesn't matter. What do you want? What do you want to amplify? You know what? I'm going to put on Taylor Swift because whenever I hear her song, it makes me feel good. Awesome. And then someone else says, oh, I'm going to put on Hank Williams because whenever I hear him, I feel good. Awesome. Whatever makes you feel good. stop arguing with people about what works for them. Obviously, unless it's like, mean or mean-spirited or, hurtful to other people, then, you got to be an advocate and stand up. But otherwise, just stay in your own lane and broadcast your own radio station. Don't worry about what other music people play. All right, here we go. As I am continuing to be late. All right. Wishing well is the card. Wishing well. Look at this. Okay, hold on. It is. What's the number of the card? I just noticed the number of the card is 48, which is how old I turned last Wednesday. Oh, a week ago, exactly. Look at this. Wishing well. That's amazing. Okay, and so here's what I'm getting from this card, right? And of course, it's number 48, the age that I am right now. Because this is it. Like, we need to stop just wishing, right? I mean, we do wish, right? Like, what do we want? I want to go on vacation. I want to live an abundant life. I want to, like, all those things that we want, right? We want to broadcast it. We want to put it out there, right? But we also have to start settling into and embodying the things that we want. I want to live a peaceful life. Oh, I so desperately want to live a peaceful life. Well, then you have to be really intentional that everything you're doing is being done with the filter of peace, right? So if you're starting shit with friends or family and causing all sorts of issues, but you want to live a peaceful life, you have to figure out, how can I end this drama to bring peace, right? Ending that drama may be, removing yourself or ending certain toxic relationships. It may be just removing yourself from a conversation, being like, this conversation makes me uncomfortable. My boundaries are set and I don't participate in conversations like this because it's just not something I'm comfortable with. Awesome, right? You need to start living what you're wishing, right? You have to start living what you're wishing. To say, I want to relax, but you're working 17,000 hours a day, well, then you are never going to learn how to relax, because you have to embody it. You have to integrate it, right? You don't work 75 hours, every week and then be like, when I retire, I'm not going to do anything. Let me tell you what's going to happen when you retire and then stop doing things. You're going to go and crash, because your system, your body, your mind is not used to doing nothing. If you truly crave relaxation and peace, then you need to incorporate that right now. You need to make money. Okay. You need to work hard. Okay. Figure out how to bring peace into your life, even if you have to work hard. Bring peace into your life, even if you are working in an environment that doesn't fulfill you, right? So you start making the changes, planting the seeds that is going to shift you out of where you are right now and bring you to where you want to go. And how you do that is by systematically embodying the thing that you want most. So if what you want most is peace, then you have to live peacefully. If what you want is abundance, then you need to live abundantly. If you want, to be valued, then you need to start valuing others and especially yourself. And that's where it begins. It begins with the thing that you want most in your life is the thing that you are responsible for bringing in to your life. That's number one. And then the rest will follow. Why? Because you're broadcasting it. Because if you are broadcasting peace, if you are broadcasting abundance, if everything you do is like, oh no, it comes back to this. I live abundantly, so I'm going to do this because it makes me feel abundant. I'm going to do this because it makes me feel peaceful. I'm going to settle this way because it is the most peaceful solution. It is the most abundant solution. It is the most whatever solution. You have to bring it into your life. That is your responsibility. That is what I hope to support you with when I talk about taking care of your energetic field, right? That you are in charge of your energy, nobody else. And lots of people will try to mess with your energy. Facebook tries to mess with your energy. Social media messes with your energy. TV messes with your energy, right? And you have to be responsible for and set up the boundaries so that you know what is affecting your energy, and you are saying, yes, I like this feeling. I want this to affect me this way. Or if it doesn't feel good, if it's not resonating, you need to put a stop to it and say, no way, I hate this feeling. I hate feeling, like, I don't know how many people I talk to that scroll through and they're like angry at people's success, right? They're like scrolling, oh, this bitch is young, this bitch is beautiful, this whatever, right? And I'm saying bitch because, that's just, what I'm thinking, but it can be anyone, this jerk, this asshole, this whatever. And we're like scrolling with hatred because we see these people either traveling or living these beautiful lives or whatever, right? And we feel small. We feel like, oh my God, they're doing so much and I'm doing nothing. I hate you. And you're like, hate the person. Or maybe you don't hate the person. Maybe you're turning the hate on yourself. Right? You need to stop doing that. Just silence those things. Just don't look at it right now until you build the capacity to be able to look at somebody's success and say, oh my God, that's evidence. That person can do that. That means it's possible for me. But if you don't feel that way yet, then you have to take care of yourself. And you need to block those things out that aren't helping you heal and aren't helping you grow, right? Help yourself. Embody what you want and be who you are, because there are a million people out there that are waiting for you to show up as you are, because you are the evidence that living like you do exists and you can get through it. And I mean, you are evidence for them to say they're not alone. All right, that's the message. I hope that was helpful today. I went way over. Hi, Shell. How are you? Hey, Danny. Love you, love you. So, I'm so glad you guys are here. Please go to my, Me First Mornings on YouTube and subscribe right now. Ding that notification bell. I'm here every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. And I'm here to help you get through whatever you're going through. And don't forget, you are not broken. You are the light.